Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Likutei Sichos, Chelek Beis, Parshas Bamidbar, learning with the Hachana for Shavuos in mind. So we're discussing ahavas yisroel. Yesterday, in the last few days, we were discussing how this week and next week's parsha talking about the Mishkan and carrying the Mishkan and all the kelim and things like this, and how it's all done. And we learned out from that even in the desert, in a place that is spiritually is a desert, is desolate, it's extreme, even in the society that we're having extreme as we see today. Nevertheless, we have to bring the Mishkan into it. We have to be able to take the Mishkan and carry it even into that place and bring the holiness into there. And we said this is specifically Negeya, relates to women, how they have the special impact they can make in the world, and especially being in touch with younger children that they're growing up, that setting them on the right path makes a big impact for sure in the long run. And then we talked about the preparation for Matan Torah, having ahavas yisroel, becoming one. And so we said, why do you have to have that? Because through ahavas yisroel, you bring out the lalos neshama ala guf. That you have the neshama is the ikr and the body is the tafel. And through that, you have that connection. Through the connecting with another yid like that, we are all really one. As Hashem and the Torah. But the only way to express it is through connecting to those three things. Meaning, if a person is going to be a big learner and they learn all day, but they don't have ahavas yisroel, that means they also don't have ahavas Hashem. And if you have ahavas Hashem, that will express itself also in the ahavas Torah and ahavas Yid and ahavas yisroel and loving another Yid. So that's why for the preparation of Matan Torah and for us to bring down Matan Torah, it has to be through ahavas yisroel. So we were discussing a little bit of ahavas yisroel. And today we're going to go and discuss, today and tomorrow, Mr. Hashem, we're going to discuss the three levels of ahavas yisroel. The level of ahavas yisroel according to the Baal Shem Tov, the level of ahavas yisroel according to the Magid, and the third level according to Chabad Chassidus, Alter Rebbe. Let's see. Ois Tes Vav. Chagmar Admer, Chazar al Torah, Baal Shem Tov. The Frierdiker went over a Torah, a teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. Even in regards to simple people. That the Baal Shem Tov said you have to have ahavas yisroel even for the simple people. And he explained like this with the mashal. It's very interesting. He was tefillin, Demar Alma, the tefillin of Hashem. What the Hashem has tefillin, first of all. Second of all, what are the tefillin? What is written inside his tefillin? In the tefillin boxes, they have things written. We have Shema Yisrael, and it's all about tefillin. So what is Hashem's tefillin written inside? What is written inside of it? And who is like your nation, Yisrael, one nation in the world? So meaning, and that's what it says in the tefillin. Meaning, and this comes down from some of the brachos, Yisrael, ain't tefillin, meaning we are the tefillin of Hashem. But tefillin, and in the tefillin, tefillin shel yad, tefillin shel rosh. And in tefillin, we find the shel yad tefillin, the hand tefillin, and the shel rosh, and the head tefillin. Meaning, and we're going to discuss this, meaning there's different types of yidden. But they're both mitzvahs. So you have mechuyav and bracha, and they both are required to make a bracha. Technically, on a technical level, you're meant to make a bracha on the shel yad. They're two separate mitzvahs, shel yad and shel rosh, tefillin, the hand tefillin and the head tefillin. Nowadays, practically, we don't necessarily do that because you make one bracha and it's a both. But on a technical level, they're two separate mitzvahs. Whether it's one bracha, two brachas, kadesh, shonis, like different opinions in this. And what's interesting, the shel yad, the hand tefillin, is what is put on first. And you're going to explain this spiritually because what comes first? Remember, the Shem's tefillin is the yidden. So what comes first? Tefillin shel yad, Mari de Uvdin and Tavin, which is the simple people. Anashim pshutim b'karamim mitzvahs, the simple people that do mitzvahs, not the shel reish people, not the head people, the smart, the leaders, the Talmidei Chachamim, but it's the simple people, the shel yad people. They walk with their hands. Paid me tefillin shel reish. They come before the head tefillin. Mari asaga, lemdim v'yedei Torah, the learners and the people that know Torah. So we see that Hashem's tefillin is the Jewish people. Like it says, like we said, we brought down from himself the brachos. What does it say in Hashem's tefillin? Who is like your nation, Yisrael, one nation in this world, meaning that the Yidden are Hashem's tefillin. And just like in the tefillin, you have shel yad and shel reish, the hand tefillin and the head tefillin. So to by Hashem, he has his hand tefillin, head tefillin. And what are that? Because we said the tefillin are the Yidden, the hand tefillin are the simple Yidden. They do mitzvahs. They don't think too much. They don't have the capability, or they don't have the time, or whatever it is. And then you have the head tefillin with the Yidden and the smart ones, and then the learners and the intellectual and the leaders. But what comes first? We put on tefillin first, shel yad, the hand tefillin. So Torah zu, this teaching of the Baal Shem Tov, this caused and affected the Jewish people in his area that heard this. Even the simple people, because in those days, unfortunately, the status quo was there's the head tefillin people, and they're above them beyond the rest, and then there's simple people, and they made fun of them, and they thought because of their simplicity and their amaratzos, their lack of knowledge, they deserve to be made fun of and put down. And the Baal Shem Tov taught this idea, and that it caused people to start to have ahavas yisroel even to the simple people that didn't know anything. Shaharei, Marid Uvdin Tavin, the simple people that work, they were more chashuv according to this vart. We put on tefillin shel yad first. They're more chashuv, they're more special than the tefillin shel reish. Muzbar in many places. That in simple people it reveals the simplicity of the essence of Hashem's essence. That sometimes being simple is actually much greater. And so this is the Vart of the Baal Shem Tov. This is the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. You have to have ahavas yisroel even to the simple people. That's the Baal Shem Tov. Now we're going to learn the Magid's Vart. So Tes Zayin Harav Hatzadik Rav Zusham. So Rav Zusham Nanapal he told Ladmar Zaken Dal Rebbe b'Shem Achiv, the name of his brother Harav Hatzadik Reb Elimelech. That he said in the name of his brother Melech Milazhinsk, She'etzel Magid Haya Mishamreis Shel Talmidim. By the Magid he had an attendant. The students would take turns attending to him and being like a secretary and helping him out. It was a very, very big schus and kavod for them. So Pam Mishar Shali Misaper Rav Elimelech. One time Rav Elimelech, he goes, when it was my turn to be the mishamish for the Magid. Hareni Rav Magid Amar. So the Magid called him in. He said to him, "This vayl, listen to this vayl. He goes, Shema Ata Melech, you hear? Masha Imim b'Mesivta Rakia. What they're saying in the heavenly Mesivta, in the heavenly yeshiva. They say ahavas yisroel pirusha. What's the pirush? What's the definition of ahavas yisroel? How, to what extent? Lo'ev rasha gomer k'tzadik gomer. To love a complete rasha like a complete tzaddik. Now, just like we love the Rebbe, we want to be connected to the Rebbe, do everything we want, and we think ourselves, if only I would get the chance to speak to the Rebbe and be by the Rebbe, just be in his presence would be everything. That same feeling we should have by a rasha gomer. What's a rasha gomer? In Tanya, there's two levels of rasha, and there's one rasha that would sort of most of us be on this category, that it's a person that just makes mistakes, and the Yetzer Hara takes full control over them, and we have regret. He says, Rishayim Mleim Charata. They're constantly feeling bad. I'm saying, I should be doing better. That's the general rasha level. But then there's a worse level, the rasha gomer. The person doesn't even feel bad about what they're doing wrong, and they're totally like sunken in. It's really, and it's a chaval. Sort of they're giving up on themselves. It's what you put in the bad people. And what we're saying is that what it's saying in Sifter Rakia, what the Magid was saying, that we have to love those people those two extreme types of people, the tzaddik gomer and the rasha gomer, are the same, which is a lot of aveda, and it's a pretty powerful. Yeah. Amira zu shel magid meisifa al Torah of Hashem Tov. This adds to what the Baal Shem Tov said. Baal Shem Tov diber rak v'negel anashim pshutim, because the Baal Shem Tov is just saying on simple people. Look at the simple people, the Nebuch, have obviously all to them. But the Magid is going much deeper. His chidesh yesh le'oyev Russia gomi should love complete Russia. B'yisem is even more than this. Aval Russia gomer tzaricha shtiye b'oisem mida kol tzaddik gomer. Not just you should love a Russia gomer, but you should love him to the same extent that you love a tzaddik gomer. It's one thing to say you should love him as well, but here we're saying not just you should love him as well, you should love him to the same extent that you love a tzaddik. So it's a crazy idea. Vashan is saying, hey, be nice to everyone, like people, don't be so rough. Just because that person doesn't know as much as you doesn't mean he's a bad person. But the Magid is saying even more than this, saying, hey, you know that person that annoys you and is bad and doing not good things, and they're doing things against everything you stand for, you should love them. They had this thing I saw recently in Israel before Pesach. There's a whole thing going on. I don't know all the details, trying to stay out of politics, but something in Israel about the government was trying to introduce new laws that people were very unhappy about. And everyone is, there's different opinions. And so there's a lot of protests going on. So what the Lubavitchers in Tel Aviv did, Tel Aviv, they have like I think it's called Rebbeim Square. They have a big square that people go and they protest. And so what the Lubavitchers did there in Tel Aviv, they put up boxes and put food, and they basically asked people to come. They offered people to be able to put food in pack the boxes for Pesach, people's Pesach needs. They have, 3,000 or 30,000 people that need help for Pesach. And if you can pack the boxes, like basically an Indian ahavas yisroel, and it was very successful. And it was beautiful because what they did was they said, you guys are fighting and this is tearing the country apart, but we can come together on a common goal of helping someone else. And that's a beautiful Indian ahavas yisroel. But what we're seeing here, the difference in the Baal Shem Tov and the Magid is these two levels. The Magid, the Baal Shem Tov is saying love everyone and just and feel bad for the people that don't have, that they're not, they weren't able, don't put them down. Whereas the Magid is saying, push yourself to love even someone that you would normally hate. Now, what else is left? And what's the Alter Rebbe going to add? Let's start today. Alter Rebbe Amar, he said, She'ahavas yisroel hi the megadav ad katan. He says, like it says in Tanya, it says, the ahavas you should have is from the greatest to the smallest. Have a k'moi eitzel achim mamish. Like brothers, literal brothers, meaning family. Shehi ava atzvus, which is an essential love. V'zehu kavano avto recha. And the Alter Rebbe said, this is the meaning of you should love your fellow like yourself. Kamoicha mamish, literally like yourself. Kashem shekamoicha, just like yourself. Ava atzmei. Hare ava atzmus, just like we love ourselves in essential love. We naturally love ourselves. She'einu kishra b'cheshbeinis. Kol shehem. We don't logically figure out to love ourselves. We just naturally love ourselves. And because of this, what's the issue with loving yourself too much? Because therefore what happens, all the negative gets covered over by our love. Meaning even at the time we recognize we're doing something wrong, because we're in such a situation, even though we love ourselves, we're not able to control ourselves because of this love. Nevertheless, even doing something wrong, we cover it over. Being that it comes such a high, deep love within us, that our love is greater than our faults. So we have to this to our friend this way. Meaning like this, and this is a very deep idea. It's a beautiful idea. And basically, we love ourselves. And how does that get expressed? One of the ways to express ourselves But we're going to come to if we're honest with ourselves, we say, if I love myself so much, I want to do all these things myself. Because we have a love that covers over the reality. And when we do things wrong, where if someone else would do it, we would call them out on it, but we do it ourselves. What's the difference? Because we have this love for ourselves, we overlook it. We don't realize, we don't notice it. Like I said yesterday, the difference between someone that you like and someone you don't like is not that the person you like only has milas, only have good things and no issues and no faults. They're not they're perfect. And the person you don't like, they only have faults, nothing good. It's what you focus on. When you love someone, your friend that you like, you focus on the positive. And we're in ourselves as well. We have negative, but we justify it, we understand it, it makes sense. But when we come to someone else, we don't see it that way. If we, let's say whatever it is, we don't daven in the morning. So we justify it. We have, you don't understand, like I went to bed very late and I was helping someone and I was trying this, and we give all these justifications. But then when we see someone else and they're not davening, like, how are you not davening? So not only we don't even realize that we're doing this to ourselves and this dichotomy that we're living, but even when we do figure it out, the natural reaction is, no, but you don't understand. Me, I was doing all these good things, and there's all these good reasons I have behind it. That person has no good excuse. And this is the love that we have for ourselves. And this is what the Alter Rebbe is saying, that obviously saw us to be just like by ourselves. And we're going to continue this tomorrow, but just like ourselves, we're able to look past all those faults. And we ignore them. We justify them. It makes sense. And we make sense out of it so we can keep on loving ourselves, which is not a bad thing. He's saying that same way we do it for ourselves, we have to do it to someone else. You see someone doing something wrong? No, but you don't understand. Like they probably went to bed late at night, or probably this happened or this happened. We give all the excuses. Just like we give all the excuses to ourselves, we have to give all the excuses to someone else. And tomorrow we're going to learn more about this. And now we're going to also try to figure out, this is the homework, how is this, what level is this? Is this above, is this between the Magid, which is loving a Rasha Gomer, and between that and between the Baal Shem Tov, which is loving the simple people? Is this in the middle? Is this above all of them? Is this below all of them? Tomorrow we'll answer that question. Have a great day.